Everybody, let us begin. We have our last Sunday of the church year, which means that we are in the theme of Judgment Day and things like that, So think about, Terminator and Schwarzenegger, and maybe it was a Judgment Day when he became a governor, maybe not, so whatever. However you want to play this out, we have a wonderful text from Old Testament. It's from the book of Ezekiel, from chapter 34. Before we'll go into the text, as usual, couple preliminary remarks. One of them concerns the time of the prophet himself. So we need to, I spelled it out a few times already, but we kind of need to remind ourselves what's going on. In the big timeline, if this is our time, let's say this is something like 30 AD, okay? I have too many chairs. Okay, if this is 30 AD, let's say this is our Exodus 1445 BC. Like roughly 1,000 years BC, we have a temple built. Okay, and then somewhere almost the middle of that is 586 BC, temple destroyed, okay, and Jerusalem. So both temple and Jerusalem destroyed. So to understand Ezekiel as a prophet, he is actually roughly from here to here. That's no, sorry. This is Ezekiel. He starts a little bit prior to the destruction of Jerusalem. And actually, he is the one in chapters 8 through 11. He explains most basic reasons why Jerusalem was destroyed. Or let me rephrase it, why God allowed Jerusalem and the temple to be destroyed. Because in chapter 8 through 11, he is taking in the vision that Jerusalem still stands, temple is there, he is already in exile. Okay? But he is taking in the vision, he is brought into Jerusalem, and God tells him, you see the temple? He says, yes, I see the temple. So crawl through the wall. And he crawls through the wall. Now think about that. This symbol by itself already conveys very deep meaning. Because yes, whatever you have in vision is a little bit different from what you have in usually reality. A little bit, there are some changes. But still, we know when Solomon built the temple, it was built out of cedar wood. So pretty strong thing. How can you crawl through a wood, and it's not like 2x6 or 2x4 frames with drywall on both sides. Okay? That's what we have in our wonderful movies when people are thrown into the wall and they fly through and they stuck. It's like, no, it's not going to happen because you have 16 inches in between the studs. Okay? That's not going to happen, whatever. But still, you can kind of if you're really hard, you can try to punch it through, whatever. They had it was totally wood. How can you crawl through? The only real reason you can crawl through the wood unless the wood is rotten. So it's soft. You can dig it through, okay? So what he is seeing right there is the temple is rotten. And when he goes inside, God tells him, okay, you are in the most inner chamber, and this chamber reflects their hearts, the hearts of elders who are supposed to worship there, the heart of leaders of the nation. And what he sees He sees the imagery of some crippling things like snakes, the spiders and bugs and so on and so forth on the wall. Okay, now think. You know the answer. Who worshipped and in whose culture, if we go into the room and see some kind of things like that on the wall, we will immediately identify it with whom? Egyptians, exactly. Okay? So that's the Israelite guys who have been told many, many times, just surrender to Babylonian Nebuchadnezzar, you'll be fine. Instead of that, they were looking for alliance with Egypt. So outwardly, they were worshiping in the temple, but in their heart, they were making alliances with Egypt. Okay? So, because they turned the temple into an idol, basically, into a Egyptian-type shrine, God said, okay, I'm done with you guys. I warned you so many times. I told you. So he brings Nebuchadnezzar, not even Nebuchadnezzar himself last time. It was like, first of all, it is not one time when Nebuchadnezzar comes and just out of the blue decides to raise the temple. It was like few times when they rebelled and rebelled and rebelled. The last time he decided not to even come. He was like, I'm too busy. So he sent his main commander, Nebuzaradan, sends him there, and the guy just, does the job. And interestingly enough, by that time, Jeremiah is actually in Jerusalem. We are talking about Ezekiel. I know it's so many names, but prophet Jeremiah is in Jerusalem, and he is in the prison. The first thing Nebuzaradan does after they enter into the city, after they broke through the wall, they enter in, rush in, and he goes into the prison and releases Jeremiah and offers him a position to be a governor of that area under Nebuchadnezzar supremacy, overseeing. It didn't happen. Jeremiah was carried away into Egypt. That's a different story. But we need to understand that first part of Ezekiel is pre-fall of Jerusalem, then it's after the fall. And we can obviously see that in chapter 32. If you have a Bible, you can open it with me. So 32 and 33. In the 12th year of exile, the 10th month, on the 5th day of the month, the fugitive from Jerusalem came to me and said, the city has been struck down. Okay? So up to 32, 33, most likely we have visions before the destruction, and then it turns. So if you want to see the place, it's 33, 21, 22. 33, 21, and 22. So that's when they get the news. And interestingly enough, actually after that, we have little by little, we have a theme of hope picking up the power, picking up the speed, and it's more and more hopeful that when we come to the end of Ezekiel, it's like a whole global one huge vision in chapters from 40 to 48 included. It's new temple and arrangement of new land and so on and so forth. So he sees and he shows them how it's going to look like.